All right, guys, let's start off talking about what I think the committee did right, and then we'll get into the very few things that I really think are wrong with this ranking. Obviously, those few things, though, could come up big later on. So, first of all, let's go with what rankings I got right. I was right about A&M going to 20. I was right about Alabama going to 13. I was right about Indiana going to 10. They put Ole Miss at 14 instead of 15. We'll talk about why that's important and pretty bad here in a second. Clemson I had going to 12. To confirm, they went to 12. I had Boise State at 9. They put Boise State behind Indiana. Again, I don't agree with that. Boise State, basically same resume, same amount of losses, played the number 1 team in the country way harder than Indiana played the number 2 team in the country. So even as an Indiana fan, I disagree with where they put Boise State. And I had SMU at 10. Not at 10. I had SMU at 9. No, sorry. Where did I have SMU? I did not. I did. I had SMU. I said SMU at 10 and Indiana at 10. Obviously didn't mean that. I obviously meant SMU ahead of Indiana. Probably at 8. But instead of 8 for SMU, they put 9 SMU because they put Boise State behind Indiana, which, whatever, I guess. I agree with where SMU is. I think they could be up a little higher, but that Tennessee and Georgia team are really, really good. Now, scrolling a little bit down here and with some of my issues. So, first of all, top 4, not mad at it at all. Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State. These teams kind of been top 4 for a while. I get it. Notre Dame moves into number 5. I don't know if there's a team playing as dominant as Notre Dame right now. Maybe you point your finger to Ohio State or Oregon, I guess. Yeah, right. But Texas and Penn State look fraudulent a lot of times this year and haven't played nearly the competition that Notre Dame recently has and dominated that competition. Miami's a team that's also but they're ranked number 6. They'll get in no matter what. What frustrates me on the back end is this whole jumble. 13 Alabama, 14 Ole Miss, 15 South Carolina. I knew Alabama would be 13. I think if you're looking at yourself and you're thinking, oh, this is so SEC bias crap. Duh, ding dong. Of course they're going to put Alabama at 13. What shocks me about Ole Miss is Ole Miss has 2 losses to teams that I think are 6 and 5. If there's a team with 2 losses to teams that are like 6 and 5, man, they're going to be down. You have Iowa State, Arizona State, especially Iowa State at 18. Iowa State, man, they just got plummeted after losing to a Texas Tech team who, if I'm not mistaken, has a better record than those losses for Ole Miss. So what we're seeing right now from the College Football Playoff Committee is a gigantic shift from what it was. So instead of valuing your best losses now, they are valuing your best wins. For the most part, think about Georgia's wins. Why would they be down at 7 below a Miami, below a Notre Dame? I'm not saying Miami and Notre Dame shouldn't be there, but I'm saying by the own committee standards about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, that's not what they were doing, right? They would have valued a loss. For example, I'm going to keep it 100%. They would have Ole Miss above Alabama. And of course, you're thinking to yourself, dude, what do you mean, But if I'm not mistaken, Ole Miss trounced Georgia. Bama struggled to beat them late. Bama lost by 21 to a freaking 5-5 Oklahoma team. And Ole Miss has only been losing close games. So, realistically, Ole Miss could be above them. You can't put South Carolina above them because head-to-head, right? But, that just doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Heck, Iowa State, I think their 2 losses are pretty close. So for them to be below Tulane is pretty crazy. I think the Big 12 disrespect is humongous. The only reason I'm okay with this is because Indiana's in a danger zone at number 10. Now, of course, I think Texas loses this weekend. We'll get into that tomorrow when I do my college football predictions. But there is a lot of bubble teams that are in big danger because of Alabama and Ole Miss staying where they are. Again, realistically, I would have liked to see Ole Miss at 15, Bama at 16, South Carolina at 17. Honestly, I think Arizona State, Iowa State, with the 2 losses, should have been above them. Maybe even BYU. You know what I mean? Where A&M drops to number 20 is where really maybe the other guy should have dropped. Texas A&M, arguably up to that point, was just as good as Bama and Ole Miss. So very interesting what they're doing. They're starting to value wins sometimes. Very picky, choosy. So maybe they didn't get it right. Maybe the thumbnail lied. I'm sorry, but I liked where they dropped and rise some people. Like, I think they dropped the people they're supposed to, rise the people they're supposed to, kept in who they were supposed to, took out who they were supposed to. But I don't think they took out as far as they should have. Does that make sense? Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. And this is Aflac Time, and I am out. What the crap?